And we are live. Good morning, Crypto Warriors, and welcome back to the Gentlemen of Crypto, episode 1219. Today is Monday, May 6, 2024, and I'm King, here to bridge the gap between the community and crypto, most days, Monday through Friday at 10ish. And today's top stories: Bitcoin reaches 1 billion transactions. Robinhood crypto business slapped with SEC Wells notice. Cardano founder proposes Bitcoin Cash integration on Expo, and how and where to view crypto transaction histories. But first and foremost, of course, let's go ahead and take a quick look at these prices. All right, let me go ahead and refresh too, as I had it on a little bit earlier. Bitcoin's coming in hot at $64,005.90, up 0.22% on the 24-hour clock. Ethereum at $3,121, down 0.5%. Number 5, Solana at $154, up 5.6%. Number 8, Dogecoin at 16 cents, down 0.02%, and Toncoin at $5.98 with an impressive pump at 2.42% on the 24-hour clock and 14.65 on the week. And Cardano at number 10 at 46 cents, up 0.85%. Fear and Greed Index has drastically dropped to a 58. Let's see. Your trading tokens are Voxel, Pepe, and Abo. And recently added our Donkey King Bunk with Glass. We got every bunk out there. And IRR, tell me, I'm not sure what that one is. Let's see. Bitcoin dominance. Ooh, pumping. Bitcoin dominance at 53.3%. And Ethereum dominance at 15.9%. I got to tell you, Ethereum maxis out there, I do not think Ethereum will be overtaking or even catching Bitcoin at its dominance anytime soon. I know a lot of people thought that would happen by now, but honestly, with every update and development for both Bitcoin and Ethereum, it seems to me that they're getting further and further away from that goal or that dream ever happening. I just don't see it happening right now in the short term, but those are your prices on the day. All right, let's give some quick shout outs and get this show rolling. What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Welcome back to the show. Holloway Fam, BK Crypto, Alipio, Lord Smith, BK, Marcellus Love, Crip Word. Good morning, Chloe Dior, Junior Magley, Hyben, Jake Fever. Hey, you called it. Jake said that might be the last dip y'all gonna see. You better buy into it. At least for the short term, it definitely was. But good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the show. Great week ahead of us. A lot of good stuff in crypto. As of now, it's starting off slow, but I think this week will probably speed up. A lot of things are going on in the background. But let's talk about some accomplishments first. Big news. Shout out to Bitcoin. Hand clap. Bitcoin reaches 1 billion with a B transactions. That's right. An average of 178,475 daily transactions have been made on Bitcoin during its 5,603 day existence. So for everyone who says or who has said Bitcoin is dead, once again, I want to reiterate, they are wrong. They are wrong. And if off the top of my head, I think what Bitcoin has reached $73,000 before. We're sitting at 64. They were wrong as of now. So this is really good to see that the transactions have hit a milestone, as well as it's showing what really matters, that is the network is super healthy and that it works. That's right. The Bitcoin network has processed its 1 billion transaction, marking a huge milestone for the network 15 years after its creation. That's right. Bitcoin is only 15 years old. It's a teenager. Hasn't even went to prom yet. Hasn't got out of high school yet. Doesn't even know who it's going to be. All right. Shout out to Bitcoin. Clark Moody's Bitcoin dashboard shows that transaction 1 billion was processed in block 842,241 at 9:34 p.m. UTC on May 5th. So technically yesterday, today-ish, or whatever, depending on where you're at in the world, you can see this actual transaction right here. And again, this is amazing to see. And yeah, this is great. People, it's working. Bitcoin is here. All the naysayers who kept saying all the bad things about it and either not recognizing it or forgetting that it is a technology first and everything else second, right? Bitcoin, the network, big B first, has done many wonderful and great things. The ability to transact across the globe seamlessly, cheaply, instantaneously, the ability to now buy stocks at a piece of a stock instead of the whole stock, right? Things like that is what cryptocurrency and Bitcoin brought to the world. So shout out to it. And again, it has officially processed an average of 178,475 daily transactions in its 5,603 day history. So again, shout out for Bitcoin. The count doesn't actually include transactions made on Lightning Network. We know a lot of that happened as well. So that number, who knows? It looks like about 6.6 million transactions on there. So okay, good stuff. That's since August of 2023. So hundreds of millions since the launch in January 2018. So if you were to add that, it would definitely be over 1 billion transactions, but just keeping it on the Bitcoin blockchain itself, we have 1 billion. So very good to see. I love to see it. It means everything's working. We're in great shape. And as far as from an investment point of view, for the people who do look at this as purely as a vehicle for investment or a store of value, this is only great news because it's like it works. You can store your money here. You can store your value here for 15 years. If you look at it for the last 15 years and say, I kept all my money in Bitcoin the last 15 years instead of a savings account, you're up. So store of value, it works. To actually process or transact, it actually works. We all know that it works very well. So it's working. 15 years and it's working. Not more else to that story. But this is something mainstream will not tell you. Lord said Lightning Network is trash and not decentralized. The Bitcoin core dev holding on to not making changes like Kate. Oh man, y'all crazy. Hey, I'm not throwing no KDOC slander in here. Okay, listen, people. I'm in LA. I'm rocking with the home team. You know I rock with the gang. Okay, America first, humans always. All right. I'm rocking with KDOC. Don't gotta ask me. Oh man. Yes. No, we'll get these shirts up. We should have had them up, but yeah, we got a few shirts and stuff. We just never got into really trying to sell too many of them. But I'll definitely put them on YouTube if you're interested as well. All right, what else is going on in the news today? Robinhood crypto. And so this is it's a slow news day, so I'm going to cover this story. But if you watch this, you really should not be using Coinbase that much anyway. You should not be using PayPal that much anyway. And I mean this in regards to crypto transactions, not fiat. And you should not be using Robinhood really like that anyway. And the reasons why, and I'll just make it short and sweet, is because they're mostly centralized, these places. And if anything were to happen to those places, as Coinbase has already put out in its own literature, they're going to keep your crypto. They're going to keep your Bitcoin and crypto. They're not going to feel bad. It's not going to be this whole process. It's going to keep your shit. Coinbase even put it out there in writing in one of their like quarterly briefs that, hey, if we were to go bankrupt or underfunded or things like this, then yes, capital and crypto would be kept on the platform. The platform would keep it. Okay. Robinhood, while they're not telling you, they're going to do the same thing. And then who else do we have? PayPal, same thing. I don't think they're decentralized yet. Or I wouldn't say decentralized. They're not decentralized to begin with, but I don't even think they have the mechanisms on there to move your crypto. I know they added them, I want to say, but I think as long as it stays on the platform, that platform still owns it. And I could be wrong, but again, this is one of those things. Would you rather try to prove me wrong that, hey, no, the platform's going to give it back to you, or be safe just in case they have a rainy day and there's no way possible for them to take it from you? So that's my thoughts on it. So with that being said, you shouldn't be using Robinhood anyway, but I know some people are. Some people don't know any better. So definitely want to report this. Robinhood crypto business slapped with SEC Wells notice. That's right. The SEC is planning to file an enforcement action against Robinhood's cryptocurrency business, according to the Wells notice. And before I even get into the Wells notice, the reason why this type of stuff matters is because these are the pressures that would make a company, a Robinhood, for example. These are the pressures that will make Robinhood say, hey, you know what do you want? Is it customer data? Is it is it PIN codes? Who did 50K transactions? Tell us, United States, what do you want? We want to get out of your way. And that would allow them to do it. That allows them to give them your personal data and information and this, that, and the other. So that's my kind of issue with it, is that when they start these centralized places where if you're keeping your crypto there, the moment they start to get subpoenaed by the government, picked and prod with by the government, they're going to look to save themselves by giving away their customers, and you are the customer. So, and the weird part about that, and the messed up part about it, is we don't have any guidance, right? You could be saying, so what? I'm not doing anything illegal. I pay my taxes. All right, that's fair. But what if, again, tomorrow they say all of a sudden, well, hey, everything on cryptos is 60% tax. They're aiming for 44 already, so I'm not that far off. If they were to say that tomorrow, everything's 60, everything's 80, everything's a 90% tax, whether you were paid or not, I think you will want to keep that information to yourself in private, to allow you to make that financial decision, not to have an exchange or a third-party platform make that decision for you. So I don't know. But again, with this story with Robinhood and this Wells notice, it looks like the US SEC, of course, none other, has issued a Wells notice to the popular trading platform Robinhood. Following the news of the Wells notice, Robinhood's share price fell 2.5%, which, of course, this pre-market trading, of course, on the traditional market, that's a lot. The Wells notice was issued on May 4th, according to a court. Following the Wells notice is a letter sent from the securities regulator that concludes its investigation of the respondent, in this case, Robinhood's US-based crypto business. I'm not sure why my email is going off today. I get it on Do Not Disturb. This is crazy. According to the filing, the SEC has been investigating Robinhood's cryptocurrency listings and crypto custodian operations and made the preliminary determination to recommend that the SEC file an enforcement action related to alleged securities violations. And again, this is my point with the PayPals, with the Robinhoods. I would actually include Cash App, but they've been doing a good job of two things. Cash has been doing a good job of actually allowing you to keep your Bitcoin and transfer it and blah, blah, blah. And they claim that you can have your own private keys. And the second thing they did a good job of, or they've been doing a good job of, is evading. I mean, for lack of better words, but I mean, Cash App has not really been playing ball with the government. They're like, why? Like, what you guys are doing is an overstep. It's illegal. It's corrupt. Blah, blah, blah. We're trying to build an actual business and a customer base that's happy, that we can keep happy. So as of now, Cash App has really been leaning toward the customers first. Now, have they had, last few years done things as far as giving more information, data, subpoenas, and so on and so forth from the government that they received and giving that information up? Yes. But by and large, they are still trying their hardest. Listen, scammers are still using Cash App. Okay. So as long as they're still using it, it's still good money as of now. Not saying you won't get a tax notice or anything like that, but the fact that it actually works and things like this. But the Robinhoods, again, the PayPals, the Coinbases, they worry me because their initial business plans weren't really crypto based. Of course, Coinbase was, but then they started going to the traditional sector, essentially trying to become a bank, going public and get regulated. This is an issue because the SEC, they don't care about the traditional stuff. They're looking for anything that says crypto on it. And if you're one of these companies who's used to doing traditional business, let's be clear here. Cash App is not used to doing traditional business. Nothing about them is traditional. Robinhood, I would say, is used to doing traditional business. You don't believe me? Look at the GMC, the AMC and GameStop fiasco where they stopped trading. That to me is traditional business, how it's always been done. Making sure the big money managers and the wealth houses are safe, looking out for them, not the small guys. Well, if that is their business, if their business model is saying, hey, we want to look after the banks and institutions and the wealth managers, but we're also going to try to make some money in crypto, well, you've just left yourself exposed for those organizations like the SEC. And they come in and say, oh, unless you want to mess up your main business model with these banks and institutions and whatever else, you need to get rid of this crypto. And you're not going to get rid of it. We're about to come after the crypto sector inside of the house aggressively. And that's what we're seeing happening to Robinhood. And once again, I'm telling you, to save their own skin, they will give up any and everything about a customer for the SEC. So again, this is according to the SEC. Oh, and the craziest part about this as well is that the SEC and all this corrupted self has made a preliminary determination for this to actually be filed with enforcement action through them. Like, I don't know, to me that's weird. How do you make a preliminary determination once again on what I believe is an American company, or at least operating and doing a lot of business for Americans here in America? It's kind of crazy to me because once again, this to me is showing that the SEC is not working in good faith, is not looking to help an American company succeed, but rather figure out a way to find them, to give them some type of extortion tactic, essentially, but do something to cause harm to the business instead of grow it. It's kind of sad to see, actually. And then they wonder why people are using VPNs and going on platforms that aren't in the United States anymore. And then they're going after those same people who create those platforms when they've done everything in their ability to make sure no U.S. residents can actually join them as well. It's just a big cluster at this point. But again, the news of this investigation comes despite Robinhood's attempts to register with the U.S. Securities Watchdog. Once again, here's the problem. Robinhood attempts to register with the U.S. Securities Watchdog. They don't like you. They don't like cryptocurrency. Stop trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. Like what? And again, this is my beef with the industry right now. Some of the people who are playing like they're in our industry, the Robinhoods of the world, the PayPal's, and at this point, again, the Coinbases, they're not here for the overall crypto community, right? So again, they have no issues playing both sides. And to me, this is playing both sides. How since I've started this, I've been screaming self-regulation, not working with the bully. But here is another long line of examples of saying, you know what? We're going to go try to work with the bully. We're going to try to get along with them, and maybe they will show us favor. And what does the U.S. do? Gang, you're going to come this way whether you want to come this way or not, boy. All right? You don't need, hey, whether you try to register with us or not, we're going to get our taste, okay? That's what's going on right now. Robinhood thought they could preemptively register with the U.S. Securities Watchdog. They could make friends, pay a couple of licenses, registrations. That's not the game right now. The game is Gorilla Pimp. The game is code. You know what? Hold on. It's a Gorilla Pimp game right now for the SEC, okay? They don't want to make deals. They don't want your licenses and regulations. That's those numbers don't even compare to the fines, all right? They just find a company that's foreign $4.6 billion that they'll be receiving, okay? You think they care about a license and a registration or whatever else at this point, compliance? Nah, that's why they haven't given clear guidance. That's the smoke and mirrors right there. It's two smoke and mirrors today. We're going to be talking about the next one right after this. But the first smoke and mirrors is the government not providing clear guidance. This is intentional. Why? Because you put so many actual Americans to work by not providing clear guidance. What do you mean, King? Well, they don't provide clear guidance, so you need to hire a tax accountant or a tax professional. They don't provide clear guidance, so if you have a project in this space, you need a compliance officer. They don't offer clear guidance, so if you do anything possibly wrong, you need an actual lawyer. So really, those are just three professionals right there, 20, 40, 60K off the top of my head that you would need to actually survive in this space. They are doing this intentionally. Also, they're doing this intentionally so that when the Robinhoods of the world or some of these other companies that are like, well, we actually have Ethereum as a security or whatever, and Robinhood is like, well, we attempted to provide licenses. The SEC is like, well, no, we don't want them. We would rather just fine you the 10 to 20, 30, $40 million, whatever it is we can do. So I'm happy this is happening, though, because that is what you get Robinhood for going behind everybody's back and trying to make friends with the bully. And shout out to the bully. Shout out to Gang for being who Gang is. Hey, Robinhood came with $2 to the bully. Like, here, this is for you today. The bully slapped the $2 out Robinhood's hand and flipped them upside down and started reaching in their pockets. Like, I know you got more with no fucking $2. Here's Robinhood, according to Dan Gallagher. Wasn't Gallagher like the watermelon smashing dude on Dave Chappelle, little skit? The chief legal compliance and corporate affairs officer at Robinhood Markets, Gallagher wrote in a May 6th blog post. Listen, they need me to come work for these people, I swear. After years of good faith attempts to work with the SEC for regulatory clarity, including our well-known attempt to come in and register, we are disappointed that the agency has decided to issue a Wells notice related to our U.S. crypto business. So, okay, in other words, this is like saying, all right, so I'm essentially going to the student body or the school principal. After years of good faith attempts to work with the school gang and the bullies and the gang members at the school, after years of just trying to do some clean cut business with the bullies and the gang members. And I mean, this has been public. We tried to work with these bullies and gang members. We're disappointed to find out they still issued a green light on our head. They still want smoke. I don't know why they bullying us. Like, what? I give them my money. I give them the apartment, the TVs. I try to be friends. I even try to join, man. They beat me up. And they said it wasn't even a jump in, people. Do you believe this? They didn't even count it. Okay, I've done everything right by these folks, and they still came back on Friday wanting more. What do I do? I don't know. Help me, please. Listen, that's what's going on right now in crypto with all these different companies that keep trying to be friends with the American government. We're not I keep saying it. They don't want to listen to me. How do I get in the rooms with these companies? Okay, I'm sure they will pay me to tell them this. You don't hire military people. You don't hire police officer or firemen. I didn't see them hiring like politicians. You aren't paying off regulators or politicians. FTX tried to, but they got a little too much dip on their chip, as they would say. But by and large, you aren't doing gang business and you think you're going to get favor from the gang. No, clearly this is corrupt. Robinhood is like, we don't understand. We did everything right. We filled out the applications. Well, Robinhood, if you weren't new to crypto and you actually been in this space for a while, you would already know this whole thing has been going on since the ETF days. Once again, 2013, 2014, 2015, companies were trying to get Bitcoin ETFs. The SEC wasn't even looking at the application. They literally would not look at the application. And these are the people that work for us, work for taxpayers. They wouldn't look at the application. Fast forward, the ETF scam is gone, okay? Or the new scam has popped up. And you think they're going to give you a license and registration for whatever the fuck else you're trying to do? Like, Robinhood, who are you? Who do you think you are? You a new company with money, all right? You Drake, you got money, all right? And they come to get it. The extortion play is in play the moment you all pop in the US. The United States wants that paper. That's all you good for, Robinhood. They don't care about your licenses, what you're trying to do, and blah, blah, blah. And to keep it real, you're not even that cool with the US government no more. Ever since you stopped that trading that day, the government looking at you sideways too, like, come on, man, you can't show the world we're corrupt. And Robinhood, you showed the world the government was corrupt by stopping the trading that day and getting away with it, okay? You are already under their skin. They don't like you. They just want your money. Get ready to get down and lay down. Nothing else is happening in between. Robinhood last statement is saying, we firmly believe that the assets listed on our platform are not securities, and we look forward to engaging with the SEC to make clear just how weak any case against Robinhood Crypto would be on both facts and the law. Well, guess what? It is too late to pop shit now. You think you're going to scare the SEC? Hey, yeah, we look forward to fighting them now. No, that ain't what you said the first time. You came over there the first time trying to be friends and copping deuces. No, I don't believe you. I do not believe you look forward to engaging with the SEC, because if you look forward to engaging with the SEC, you would have engaged with them to begin with. You would have never tried to fill out some goofy ass forms for some laws they made 3 weeks ago on a Wednesday night or a Friday morning when nobody was paying attention. You have already engaged. You have already had a legal team. You already said, we're not going to take it, but you didn't do it, and now you're paying. Woo! Man, I didn't mean to go on this rant today, people. You know how it is. Sometimes I go crazy, okay? My bad. It happens. All right, let me see, because I know I'm running out of time. I got some stuff going on that I got to run around. Last couple of stories. I mentioned smoke and mirrors. Got to talk about the second part of the smoke and mirrors. Cardano. Ooh, we smoke and mirrors, people. How are they still in the top 10? Shout out to Cardano for staying in the top 10 as long. Like, you all are giving fucking BitConnect a run for his money. I got to be honest. The eyes are winning with 8,301 votes. The 4,200 essentially against at the time of publication. It amazes me that you literally have 12,500 people, 12,513 people who are active participants in the Cardano community, not putting pressure and fire to Charles Hoskinson, whoever's ass. Like, that's amazing to me. You got 15,000 people to vote, but not to put fire to the founder's ass. Please tell me what's going on, because I haven't been paying attention. Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson recently posted a hypothetical poll on the X social media platform asking the crypto community if they'd like to see a Cardano and Bitcoin Cash integration. Okay, I'm not even going to go into this story about the votes and everything. I just talked about them. But by and large, what the fuck does a Bitcoin Cash integration? I said I was going to stop using profanity on this day show so you all can show it to the kiddies. I'll do better starting Wednesday, okay? What the fuck does Bitcoin Cash have to do with Cardano and their project and their platform and their protocol? Like, are you kidding me? This is who's getting the money and who's getting, like, they're in the top 10 right now. Gotcha, bitch. Like, people, what does Bitcoin Cash have to do with anything? Let me know in the comments, please. Like I said, I don't pay that much attention to Cardano, so maybe I overlooked this one, right? The same way I overlooked the Terra Luna thing when one day I realized, or I saw the news article that says Do Kwon was going to switch to a Bitcoin-backed algorithmic thing, and you all thought that was normal. I was like, you all could have bought Bitcoin yourself. This makes zero sense. This is that same moment for me this morning. I saw Cardano and Bitcoin Cash and just integration. I'm like, Why are you voting? Why are you making this a story? Why is this smoke and mirrors? That boy Charles, hey, do he live in Miami? Because you know them scammers, boy. Listen, shout out to Charles. I'm never gonna be mad at somebody for their hustle, their business, no matter how grimy it is, because this world is what it is. But come on, Charles. Come on, my man. And again, to the people who are all into Cardano, one of you please explain to me. Call in Friday and shill it. I just don't understand how seeing Bitcoin Cash become a Cardano partner chain. And then he did word soup. Here we go. Upgraded with useful proof of work Leos, Nepo POWs, and Ergo Tech, thus being the fastest and most useful proof of work chain ever built. You all do realize I do commercials in Hollywood, right? You know I do commercials in Hollywood. This is how the scripts are written up when I'm reading spokesperson roles. Like literally it's buzzword soup heaven and I'm making it sound good and hitting pitches. It's the same shit. I'm reading it right now and it shouldn't be in this space unless there's a scam happening. All right. And I'm getting really close to fully calling it, Charles. Okay. You had time to make this thing right, but it looks like you're set on making it wrong. Bitcoin Cash integration. That is by far one of the funniest things I've seen. Jake, I was waiting to actually hear from Jake because I know you look at Cardano every now and then. Jake said, you're right about Cardano, but this just means that ADA is going to run. People love Cardano narrative. All they need is one or two good stories. Now, with that being said, I agree with Jake Fever. I actually agree with them. And this is the dumb money of the market. I agree Cardano will go on another like serious run before it's all said and done. I think after his next run will be the death of it because then they'll have so much capital. A few things are going to happen. Charles and some of his cronies are going to cash out and leave a lot of people with the bag. And then second thing, after it hits that peak and people realize no more new development has happened with a shit ton of new incoming capital, the smarter people going to be like, oh, okay, you did get us. Like, whatever. Like, we got our bags and got out here. The people who stay and think it's the future of the next 20 years, they'll be the ones who take the biggest L. So I am in agreement with Jake as well. Like, it has a community. It's still at number 10 when it shouldn't be. And you have 15,000 people voting on smoke and mirrors. And they don't even see it as smoke and mirrors. They actually think it's something real. So, yeah, I'm with you, Jake. I think it's going to pump too, man. This is super unfortunate. But Cardano will probably see itself back in the number 8 or 7 spot before it's all said and done. And yes, Hyben, I think they're looking for an exit scale. I think they're gearing up. They're about to have a lot of updates, a lot of Bitcoin Cash partnerships. Should we do a Floki Eno partnership? And once they got enough of those and that price pumps with next year's market cycle bull run, it's over. Watch what I say. Not only will it be over, but I'm gonna call another one. Damn, I gotta put this on the Bitcoin inscriptions. Was it 2024 right now? It'll probably be over 25 at the height. Say summer. I'll say, quote me on this. 2027, 2028. Charles Hoskinson will be attached to another big project. Quote me on this, because the way these scammers move is every 2 or 3 years, right? First, you got Hex, then you got Pulsing. Listen, give them 2 or 3 years, 2027, 2028, mark my words. Charles Hoskinson will be on a new project, pumping it. Like, he gonna be like, you thought Cardano was something. That Cardano ain't shit, man. Now, this is the one. We didn't know this when we started Cardano, okay? Like, just trust me on that. Ask him about Cardano in 27. He's going to be like, oh, right now we want to keep the focus on this project XYZ. We're not going to answer any more of those questions. We've already told everyone not to ask us those questions today on stage. All right, last but not least, this is more just a story, a how-to story. Now, I know Cointelegraph does a few of these, but to me, this is kind of important since we're talking about the billion transaction today that was officially crossed, and that is how and where to view crypto transaction histories. I know a lot of you have not even read the first paragraph of the white paper, so most people have no clue that Bitcoin is a downloadable software that everybody can get, and you can look at every transaction forever. Anytime, right? So how do you actually do that? I thought this was a pretty cool article for Cointelegraph to put out there. I wanted to piggyback on it. I won't go into super detail. You can go through the fine points. We've done classes and tons of other things throughout the years on this. But really quick, I just wanted to do a refresher. Where to check crypto transactions history. Number 1, Blockchain Explorer, of course. You all know you can just go to the Blockchain Explorer, type in that public address, and boom, that transaction will come up. Examples of cryptocurrency explorers include btcscan.org, etherscan.io for Ethereum, of course, solscan.io for Solana, Live, Block, Cypher for Litecoin, and bit hump for XRP. So I'm gonna see really quick. Excuse me. Go ahead and throw on this Bitcoin Explorer. It was another Blockchain Explorer itself is pretty good too, by the way. I actually like that one also. But here, I'll just show you this for those who've never seen it. This is the Bitcoin BTCscan.org. You can see the latest blocks. This is how you know we've actually hit 1 billion transactions. You can literally just go through and count for all of these. You see the size of the block, the weight of the block. And again, if you actually were to click on the block itself, you can see the transactions, one change, one confirmation. This one isn't even confirmed yet. This is the latest one. Of course, you know, it takes about 4 to 7 before that confirmation, that transaction actually goes through, but you can look at all the details. So again, this is my argument for Bitcoin as a whole. All these companies are saying, you know, well, we got to do accounting before we pay you. We got to do this. Like, you know, everybody wants to pay you in 2 to 3, or if you're in my industry, entertainment, sometimes 3 months later you get paid because everyone wants to do accounting. And it's like, guys, knock it off. The accounting is baked in to many apps and platforms and so on and so forth now. So that is one of the reasons why I really love the technology of Bitcoin, not the price point itself. Crypto wallets, of course, if you make transactions in your actual wallet, you can go back to it and check it out. Also, third-party services. There are third-party services that allow you to view transactions, especially on the DeFi side. We've done some of this with some of the DeFi explorers. On the top of my head, I think Zapper might be one. Zapper, and there's another one that uses pretty good. I can't remember, but essentially there's DeFi platforms that can monitor your wallets and track and trace all of your transactions also as well. That work pretty cool. And the good thing about it is, since it's DeFi, as long as you don't fully sign up and everything, you just use emails and dump emails and things like that, you can actually, like, even though your wallet's being tracked and traced and all the transactions, no one knows is actually attributed to you, right? Like, that would take a lot of real investigative work to figure out this is your personal wallet. And probably no one would care unless you're committing some type of crazy crime or you're worth that much money. So if you're not doing that, or you're not worth that much, no one really cares. And last but not least, of course, which is encouraged, is to download the entire blockchain. So your actual computer, laptop, server, whatever, becomes an actual working node. And then you can be a part of the blockchain as far as securing it, making sure it's harder to hack. But then you can also go back and see whatever transaction you work. As a heads up, the blockchain is huge. So it will take you probably a couple of days, 2 or 3 days to download the full thing at this point, but it is worth it. Again, you become an actual operating member of the Bitcoin community for real. You're actually helping to keep secure. All right, other than that, that is the show for the day. Oh, Mac, thank you for the tip. Said the data is showing that we will be making another big Bitcoin move within the next 15 days. Oh, it's time to go long. Listen, I might have to margin trade in a second. I'm seeing some of my buddies margin trading. They taking home some stupid numbers right now, but they were shorting it. I'm not big on shorting it, so they're shorting it at first. But yeah, next 15 days might have to go long. Let's see. Yeah, Ty Medin says sacrifice to post X. Thought just sending Ethereum there that they would just send it back. Haha, man, extracurricular activity has to be done to get my post X. Man, it's all good. That's the way it goes, man. That's the way it goes. Let's see. Charles, the richer heart for the Polo Africans. Y'all are hilarious. I have a lot of shit coins. When they pump, cashing all them out, and we'll buy the Bitcoin dump. That is how you do it. Charles, to me, is a nice richer heart. That is hilarious. And on that note, we will end the show. I have to run. Make sure you smash that like and share. We'll be back Wednesday with some more crypto.